Admiral Elena Santos stood at the viewport of Lunar Base Alpha, her dark eyes fixed on the seemingly primitive satellites orbiting Earth below. To any outside observer, they appeared to be simple communication relays, their outdated design suggesting a civilization barely capable of spaceflight. That was exactly how humanity wanted it to appear. The quantum alert came without warning. Deep beneath the lunar surface, sensors detected a massive fleet dropping out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the solar system. 57 vessels, all bearing the distinctive energy signatures of Kryvax warships. They took the bait, Elena whispered, allowing herself a slight smile. For decades, humanity had maintained an elaborate facade of technological inadequacy. While their surface installations burned fossil fuels and launched chemical rockets, their true civilization thrived in underground cities and underwater bases, powered by zero-point energy and protected by quantum shields. The Kryvax, known throughout the galaxy as opportunistic conquerors, had finally noticed Earth, just as planned. "Admiral, the Kryvax fleet is broadcasting their standard ultimatum," reported Commander Chenwei from his station. "They're demanding our immediate surrender and integration into their empire. Standard tactics. They're not even bothering to mask their weapons charging sequence." Elena nodded, remembering the countless simulations they'd run for this moment. "Maintain our primitive facade. Let them think their intimidation is working." "What's their approach vector?" "They're following the expected pattern, Admiral. Their main fleet is positioning for a show of force over major population centers, while their support vessels are moving to neutralize our defensive satellites." Throughout the solar system, hidden sensors tracked the Kryvax fleet's every move. The aliens had no idea that each piece of space debris they ignored, every asteroid they passed, was part of Earth's true defense network. Humanity had spent generations preparing for this moment, building their strength in secret while presenting an image of weakness to the stars. "Send the expected response," Elena ordered. "Make it appropriately panicked. Have the surface governments convene emergency sessions. Let them see the chaos they expect from a primitive species facing superior technology." The Kryvax ships drew closer, their formation spreading out to encompass Earth in a standard subjugation pattern. They had conquered dozens of worlds this way, overwhelming primitive civilizations with displays of superior technology before they could mount an effective defense. But Earth was different. Every satellite the Kryvax targeted was expendable, a carefully crafted prop in humanity's greatest deception. The real defense grid remained invisible, powered down, waiting for the perfect moment. Elena watched the tactical display as the first Kryvax weapons fired, destroying the sacrificial satellites. "Right on schedule. Begin countdown to Operation Revelation," she commanded. "Alert all hidden bases. When they commit to their final approach, they'll have no time to realize their mistake." Throughout the solar system, quantum computers monitored the Kryvax fleet's every move, calculating the perfect moment to spring the trap. In underwater bases and underground bunkers, crews prepared to reveal humanity's true face to the galaxy. The Kryvax commander's hologram appeared above the command center, his serpentine features twisted in what passed for a smile among his species. "Primitive humans," he began, his translated voice dripping with condescension. "Your pitiful attempts at spaceflight end today. Submit to Kryvax authority, and we will guide your species into a glorious future as productive members of our empire." Elena stood straight, playing her role perfectly. "Please," she begged, letting fear seep into her voice. "We are a peaceful species. We have no defense against your power. We request time to consider your demands." The Kryvax commander's smile widened. "You have one planetary rotation to submit. Any resistance will be met with overwhelming force." The hologram vanished. "They're deploying exactly as predicted," Commander Chen reported. "Their guard is down. They think we're helpless." Elena's facade dropped, replaced by the steel-eyed determination that had earned her command of Earth's combined defense forces. "Humanity has hidden long enough," she declared. "Signal all bases. Operation Revelation begins in 3 hours. Let's show the galaxy why you should never judge a species by its surface technology. The trap was set. Soon, the Kryvax would learn that appearances can be deceiving, and that humanity was far from primitive. The greatest revelation in galactic history was about to begin, and Alina intended to make it one the Kryvax would never forget. Fleet Commander Zar'xian of the Kryvax Expansion Force watched with satisfaction as his ships moved into their final attack positions around the primitive human world. Their pitiful satellites had crumbled under even the lowest power weapons, exactly as expected from a species that still relied on chemical rockets. In his centuries of conquest, he had never seen a clearer case for absorption into the Empire. These humans would make excellent manual laborers, their planet's resources perfect for fueling the Empire's continued expansion. "Sir," his sensor officer called out, "we're detecting some unusual energy fluctuations from the planet's moon." "Probably they're primitive fusion experiments," Zar'xian dismissed. "Nothing that could possibly." The sensor officer's console erupted in alerts. Multiple quantum signatures detected. They're coming from everywhere. Across the solar system, what the Kryvax had dismissed as space debris suddenly came alive. Asteroids shed their rocky camouflage, revealing sleek weapon platforms. Clouds of supposed micrometeoroids coalesced into swarms of autonomous combat drones. And from the dark side of every planet and major moon, hidden bases powered up their systems. In her lunar command center, Admiral Santos gave the order they'd waited generations to deliver. Execute Operation Revelation. Show them what humanity can really do. The quantum shield network activated first, each node precisely timed to create an interlocking defense grid that no known weapon could penetrate. The Kryvax fleet found itself divided into manageable segments, cut off from reinforcement or retreat. Impossible. Zar'xian roared as his tactical display transformed. Where moments ago he had seen a helpless primitive world, now his sensors revealed layer upon layer of advanced technology. Their energy signatures. They're beyond anything in our database. On Earth's surface, the carefully maintained facade began to fall away. Massive hangar doors opened in mountain ranges, revealing spacecraft that made Kryvax vessels look primitive by comparison. The oceans churned as underwater bases activated, their quantum shields parting the waters like mythological forces. "This is Admiral Alina Santos of the United Earth Defense Force." Her voice rang through every Kryvax communication channel. "Your assumptions about our civilization were gravely mistaken. You have one chance to surrender and withdraw from our solar system." Zar'xian's secondary heart nearly stopped as he processed the sensor data. The human's quantum technology was at least 3 generations beyond Kryvax capabilities. Their weapon platforms displayed power signatures he'd only seen theorized in classified research documents. You deceived us," he managed to transmit back. "Your surface technology was a carefully crafted illusion." Alina finished for him. "We learned long ago that appearing weak was the best defense against species like yours. While you conquered those who displayed their power openly, we built our strength in secret, waiting for the day someone would mistake our deception for weakness." To demonstrate her point, a swarm of human combat drones emerged from their asteroid disguises, surrounding a Kryvax support vessel. Their weapons powered up, revealing energy signatures that shouldn't have been possible for any civilization below Class 3 status. The Kryvax Empire classified them as Class 7. Commander Chen's voice carried a hint of satisfaction as he reported, "All defense systems online, Admiral. The quantum grid is stable. We have targeting solutions for their entire fleet." Alina allowed herself a moment to appreciate the shock and fear now evident in Zar'xian's transmission hologram. "Commander Zar'xian, look around you. Every piece of debris you ignored, every primitive satellite you destroyed, was placed precisely to lead you into this position. You came to conquer what you thought was a primitive species. Instead, you've stumbled into the most elaborate trap in galactic history." Across the solar system, hidden weapon platforms revealed themselves. each capable of matching a Kryvax capital ship. The quantum shield grid tightened, giving the alien fleet barely enough room to maneuver. Your Empire's tactical doctrine is fatally flawed, Elena continued. You assume that any species capable of advanced technology would display it proudly. You never considered that true power lies in choosing when and how to reveal your strength. Zar'xian watched in horror as his tactical display updated with the true extent of human military capability. Their ships were emerging from gas-giant atmospheres, from asteroid hides, from dimensional pockets his sensors couldn't even properly scan. Every rock, every piece of space debris his fleet had ignored, now revealed itself as part of an enormous military machine designed for one purpose: springing this trap. Last chance, Commander. Elena's voice carried the weight of absolute certainty. Surrender, or discover exactly how advanced our weapons technology truly is. The greatest military power in known space had just realized they were no longer the hunters. They were the prey, and humanity was done hiding. Zar'xian's command vessel shuddered as another quantum pulse from Earth's defense grid tested their shields. His crew worked frantically to adapt their systems, but human technology operated on principles they barely understood. The mighty Kryvax fleet, terror of 1,000 worlds, found itself boxed in by an opponent they grievously underestimated. "Sir, we're detecting multiple breaches in our encrypted command network," his communications officer reported, mandibles clicking in distress. "The humans are inside our systems." Deep within the massive Kryvax flagship, Captain Zar'xian smiled as her stealth team's quantum infiltrators did their work. While the aliens frantically scanned space for human ships, they never thought to look inside their own vessel. Her team had been here for days, disguised as maintenance drones, waiting for this moment. "Begin Phase 2, she vocalized, her quantum neural link carrying the command to her squad. Their stealth suits, appearing as simple maintenance scaffolding to Kryvax sensors, shifted and adapted. Years of studying recovered Kryvax technology had taught humanity every weakness in their systems. In Lunar Command, Admiral Santos watched the infiltration team's progress through their shared quantum feed. "Status on the fleet's containment?" she asked, never taking her eyes off the tactical display. "Quantum grid is holding at 97% efficiency," Commander Chen reported. "The Kryvax are testing different frequencies, but they're still using outdated quantum theories. They haven't realized we solved the coherence problem decades ago." The infiltration team moved through the Kryvax ship like ghosts. Their hybrid technology, combining quantum mechanics with biological components, rendered them virtually invisible to conventional sensors. Each team member carried enough advanced technology to subjugate a primitive planet, all disguised as simple tools and repairs. "The Empire will never surrender to primitives." Zar'xian broadcast, his voice betraying mounting panic. "Our reinforcements will arrive within hours. You cannot hope to." "Commander Zar'xian," Elena interrupted, "did you really think we would reveal ourselves without accounting for your reinforcements?" She nodded to her tactical officer. "Show them." Throughout the solar system, massive quantum gates activated, their existence hidden until now by dimensional shifting technology. Each gate pulsed with enough energy to disrupt any attempting faster-than-light travel into the system. "Your reinforcements will find themselves emerging from hyperspace exactly where we want them," Elena explained. "The entire solar system is now a carefully constructed killing ground. We've had decades to prepare this battlefield." Sarah's team reached the Kryvax ship's quantum core, their true objective. What looked like simple maintenance tools transformed into interfaces far more advanced than anything the Kryvax possessed. "Beginning quantum core override," she reported through the neural link. "Their security is exactly where our projections predicted." The Kryvax had always relied on their technological superiority, never imagining that a primitive species could have surpassed them generations ago. They encrypted their networks with quantum keys, never suspecting that humanity had moved beyond quantum computing to something far more sophisticated. Multiple ships reporting critical system failures, Commander Chen announced with quiet satisfaction. Captain Chen's team has successfully compromised their command and control network. Zar'xian felt his world unraveling. His mighty fleet, pride of the Empire, was being systematically disabled by an enemy he couldn't even properly detect. These humans didn't fight like any species he'd encountered. They didn't just have superior technology. They had a completely different understanding of how to use it. How? He transmitted, his voice barely a whisper. How did you advance so far without anyone knowing? We learned from history, Alina replied. Every civilization that openly displayed its technological advancement eventually faced invasion or subjugation. So we chose a different path. We hid our true capabilities beneath a carefully crafted facade of primitive technology. We studied every spacefaring race we detected, learning their weaknesses while revealing none of our strengths. Sarah's team finished their work at the quantum core, leaving behind devices that would ensure the Kryvax fleet could never threaten Earth again. Their mission complete, they began their extraction, their stealth technology making them appear as nothing more than sensor ghosts in the ship's systems. Your empire isn't the first to discover Earth, Alina continued. You're simply the first we allowed to get this close. Consider your fleet's current situation a demonstration of why humanity chose to hide its true nature from the galaxy. We've spent generations preparing for this moment, and you never saw us coming. Across the solar system, humanity's hidden strength continued to reveal itself. Quantum weapons platforms emerged from dimensional pockets, their power signatures overwhelming Kryvax sensors. Combat drones swarmed through space, each operating on principles beyond the Empire's understanding. The trap wasn't just closing. It had been closed from the moment the Kryvax fleet arrived. They just hadn't realized it until now. Zar'xian stared at his command console, in disbelief as system after system fell to human control. The quantum core breach had spread throughout his fleet like a virus, leaving his mighty warships helpless in space. His empire's most advanced technology, developed over centuries of conquest, had been undone in hours by a species they'd dismissed as primitive. Sir, his tactical officer's voice quavered. We're detecting new quantum signatures. They're unlike anything in our database. From beneath the surface of Mars, massive doors opened in the red planet's crust, revealing shipyards that dwarfed anything in the Kryvax Empire. Vessels emerged that defied conventional physics, their hulls rippling with dimensional energies that the Kryvax had only theorized possible. In Lunar Command, Admiral Santos watched the Kryvax fleet's desperate attempts to restore their systems. Deploy the Genesis-class vessels, she ordered. Let them see exactly what they're dealing with. The ships rising from Mars were humanity's masterpiece, vessels powered by artificial quantum singularities, capable of manipulating space-time itself. Each one represented technological advancement that the Kryvax had thought impossible for another 1,000 years. This is impossible, Zar'xian transmitted, all pretense of imperial authority gone from his voice. Your species, we've monitored your development for decades. The quantum readings from your planet never showed anything beyond basic atomic fusion. Of course they didn't, Alina replied, allowing herself a small smile. We've been running quantum dampening fields across the entire solar system since before your empire first detected us. Everything you saw was exactly what we wanted you to see. Zar'xian's infiltration team, now safely extracted from the Kryvax flagship, had gathered data that confirmed humanity's long-held theories about the Empire's technological limitations. Admiral, she reported through her neural link, their quantum theories are still based on linear progression. They never discovered the parallel development path we took after the quantum revolution. Throughout the solar system, humanity's true civilization continued to reveal itself. What the Kryvax had dismissed as primitive orbital habitats transformed into advanced research stations. Asteroid mines shed their simple exteriors to reveal quantum manufacturing facilities that could output more advanced technology in a day than the Empire could in a year. Your fundamental mistake, Alina explained to the increasingly desperate Kryvax commander, was assuming that technological advancement must follow a predictable path, that a species would naturally display its achievements, build upward from its planet's surface, reach for the stars in ways you could easily monitor and measure. The Genesis-class vessels took position around the trapped Kryvax fleet, their very presence distorting space-time. These ships didn't just travel through space, they commanded it, bent it to their will using principles that the Empire's best scientists hadn't even begun to grasp. Instead, Alina continued, we chose to build inward and hidden. While you watched our surface, expecting to see the normal signs of technological advancement, we developed in ways your sensors couldn't detect and your theories couldn't predict. We created technology that doesn't just surpass yours, it operates on fundamentally different principles. Commander Chen's console lit up with new data. Admiral, the quantum core shutdown is complete. The Kryvax fleet's primary and secondary systems are fully compromised. Their weapons and propulsion are offline. The truth of humanity's deception was finally becoming clear to Zar'xian. Every primitive satellite his fleet had arrogantly destroyed had been a carefully placed piece in an elaborate trap. Every scanning beam they'd sent toward Earth had been analyzed, understood, and fed false data. They hadn't been studying a developing civilization. They'd been examining a carefully constructed facade. Why? Zar'xian finally asked. Why hide all of this? With this level of technology, you could have dominated the galaxy. That's exactly why we hid it, Alina answered. We had no interest in domination. We wanted to develop to grow, to advance without drawing the attention of empires like yours. Every civilization that reached for the stars too quickly, too visibly, eventually faced invasion or subjugation. We chose a different path. The Genesis ships began generating quantum fields that further contained the Kryvax fleet, their technology so advanced it appeared to break the laws of physics as the Empire understood them. This wasn't just a defeat, it was a revelation that would shake the foundations of Kryvax civilization. Now, Alina declared, you face a choice. The Empire can accept that there are things in this galaxy beyond your understanding, powers greater than you imagined, or we can demonstrate exactly why we chose to hide our true capabilities for so long. The future of two civilizations hung in the balance as humanity finally revealed its full power to the stars. As the Genesis-class vessels held the Kryvax fleet in their quantum grip, Admiral Alina Santos prepared for the most crucial moment in human history. This wasn't just about victory, it was about reshaping the galaxy's future. Your empire stands at a crossroads. Commander Zar'xian, Alina transmitted, her voice carrying the weight of generations of human preparation. What happens next will determine not just your fate, but the fate of countless civilizations. The Kryvax commander's hologram flickered in the lunar command center, his once proud posture now subdued. You could have annihilated us at any time, he realized aloud. This entire demonstration, you want something else. Exactly, Alina confirmed. If we simply wanted to destroy your fleet, we could have done so the moment you entered our system. But humanity has a greater purpose in revealing ourselves now. Around them, the solar system had transformed. What had appeared to be a primitive civilization barely reaching for the stars now showed its true face, a technological paradise that had advanced far beyond the Empire's understanding. The quantum shields rippled with energies that defied imperial physics, while the Genesis ships demonstrated mastery over space-time itself. Zar'xian's infiltration team had finished analyzing the data stolen from the Kryvax flagship. Admiral, she reported through the quantum network, we've confirmed it. The Empire's database shows 17 developing civilizations currently under observation, all marked for potential conquest. 17 worlds, Alina addressed Zar'xian, all following the path we appeared to be on, all showing their advancement openly, proudly reaching for the stars, all marked for subjugation by your empire. The Kryvax commander's secondary eyes widened in understanding. You're not just defending your world. We're changing the rules of the game, Alina finished. Humanity spent generations hiding our true capabilities because we saw the pattern. Every civilization that displayed its advancement too openly eventually faced invasion or subjugation, some by your empire, some by others. The galaxy's powerful preyed upon the developing, again and again. Through the quantum network, images began playing in every Kryvax ship, recordings of other worlds the Empire had conquered, civilizations that had reached too high too quickly and paid the price. But interspersed with these were new images, human ships, cloaked and hidden, observing these conquests, learning, preparing. We hid our power and watched, Alina continued, not just to protect ourselves, but to understand, to find a way to break this cycle. And now we're going to give you a choice that will reshape the galaxy's future. Commander Chen's console displayed the status of the quantum containment field. The Kryvax reinforcement fleet has arrived at the outer system boundary, he reported. The quantum gates have redirected them exactly as planned. Elena nodded. Your reinforcements are about to discover exactly what we did to your primary fleet, Commander. But unlike you, they won't have the chance to surrender first. Sometimes, the best way to teach a lesson is through demonstration. The quantum gates activated, and distant flashes of light marked the arrival and immediate neutralization of the Kryvax reinforcements. Their weapons and drive systems were shut down before they could even register what was happening. Here is your choice, Alina declared. The Kryvax Empire can continue as it has, believing itself the galaxy's supreme power, forcing its will upon developing worlds, and eventually face the full consequences of that choice. Or you can become something new. Partners in a different kind of galactic civilization. Partners, Zar'xian's voice carried disbelief. After we tried to conquer you. Because you tried to conquer us, Alina corrected. You've seen now that there are powers in this galaxy beyond your understanding. Technologies that operate on principles you haven't discovered. But instead of using this power to dominate, we chose to hide it. To protect not just ourselves, but others. The Genesis ships began generating new quantum fields, not to contain but to demonstrate. They showed visions of possible futures, one of continued conflict and eventual destruction, another of cooperation and advancement beyond anything the Empire had imagined possible. Humanity is done hiding, Elena announced, but we're not interested in replacing one empire with another. We're offering you the chance to help us protect and guide developing civilizations, to break the cycle of conquest and subjugation, to build something greater than either of our species could achieve alone. In that moment, as Zar'xian looked out at the transformed solar system and the evidence of power beyond his comprehension, the true victory was won, not through superior firepower or advanced technology, but through the revelation of a better path forward. The galaxy's powerful have preyed upon the weak for too long, Elena concluded. We hid our strength not out of fear, but because we were waiting for the right moment to change everything. That moment is now. The choice is yours, Commander. Will your empire be remembered as another failed conqueror, or as the power that helped reshape the galaxy for the better? As Zar'xian considered his response, the quantum fields rippled with possibility, and the future of galactic civilization hung in the balance. Humanity had revealed its true face not to dominate, but to transform. The greatest deception in history had become the catalyst for the galaxy's greatest change. The age of conquest was ending. The age of protection was about to begin.